Welcome to the Investing Podcast, presented by Tusk Media. Now, for your early morning look at financial news and activity in audio and video form, here's the Morning Market Mimosa.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Investing Podcast, presented, as always, by Tusk Media. Happy Friday, folks. It's June 10th, 2016, and this is your Morning Market Mimosa, and this is my Morning Market Mimosa right here, so don't mind me if I take a swig from it. We're recording a little earlier than normal because they're doing a lot of construction on the street, so just bear with us. Hopefully it's not too noisy, and if you're watching the video podcast or the video archive on YouTube, pardon my t-shirt, just trying to get this thing done as quickly as possible. But we're glad you're here nonetheless. Hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and listen to us throughout the day. We're going to be back later and couple times today, most likely, because there may be a lot to talk about. Futures, as we look at them, they're not looking good, folks. The market is actually down across the board. The Dow futures are down 0.5%, S&P down more than 0.5%, NASDAQ down about 0.2%, gold's down, oil's down 1.5%. It's not looking pretty, but a few headlines to pay some attention to. Tesla addressed some rumors of suspension safety defects in their Model S and Model X. How did they address these rumors? Kind of the way you would expect out of a technology-driven automaker. They wrote a blog post. I imagine this was Elon Musk sitting in his mom's basement, putting down the video game controller for a minute and said, you know what? I'm going to write a blog post. So he started writing. They said that there is no safety defect with the suspension in the Model S or the Model X. They also addressed rumors that customers were having to sign things that they would not complain about these safety defects and that they wouldn't disclose these issues to the public. They said those rumors were absolutely preposterous, and they talked about how because Tesla owns its own service centers, they would know if there were ongoing problems with these things, and basically said there are no safety issues. So that's something to keep an eye on. Tesla is actually flat from where it closed yesterday, but the stock did fall about $5 per share in the afternoon yesterday. So keep an eye on that. Another story with some negative headline risk is Wendy's. The fast food chain may not only be a bad place to eat for health reasons, that's, I guess, debatable. I happen to love it. But it may also be a risk for your personal financial situation because they are now reporting that the malware that was hacking customer credit card data is probably more widespread than anticipated. They said probably significantly more, that's a quote, significantly more than the initially anticipated 300 franchise locations were impacted. So for context, they have about 5,500 franchise locations. They came out and said, we think 300 of them have been hit with this malware that can basically track credit card information. They now think it's significantly more than that. So that's something to keep an eye on. Quote of the day, and we'll wrap up with this at least for the morning. Marc Faber, famed bearish investor, says, I'm negative about the global economy, which is exactly what you would expect him to say. He adds, but if you print enough money, and he's talking about central banks, the Federal Reserve, things like that, if you print enough money, the market may not go down in nominal terms. So that's actually one of the more optimistic things this guy's ever said. Something to keep an eye on, maybe a little bit of good news, at least from one self-proclaimed expert and a guy that's got a long track record of viewing things differently and viewing things pretty pessimistically. So he's got a little bit of optimism there. As Lloyd Christmas would say, you're telling me there's a chance, Marc Faber. You're telling me there's a chance. So you guys have a great morning. We'll be back in a little bit with the Stock Market Power Lunch. Talk to you soon.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.